Okay, good morning, everybody. Again, my name is Sarah Lanning, and I am the KW Fox Cities Tech Ambassador, Tech Trainer. I wear a lot of different hats down there as far as working with tech and everything KW Tech. So this is our first. I'd like to welcome everybody from Green Bay that hopped on here. We've done this boot camp a couple of different times. I really feed off of your guys' energy. So if you have any questions or anything that you've got that pop on or issues that you've got, please let me know. Jump in right away. Just interrupt me. Better to do it in that train of thought than try to go back. I will be doing a lot of my screen sharing, and we'll be going through a lot of things. There will be things today that we do not have time to do all together. I usually try to run this as a workshop, so I'm going to have you, working with it if you have that capability of being split screen or something like that. But otherwise there are some things that we won't be able to do that'll take you some more time, some more things that you'll need to flesh out. So that's you have my contact information. Please give me a call, text, email, whatever you want to do for any questions that you have afterwards, because this is basically just our setup. So first of all, if I could get a show of hands or in the chat, which either way, how many of you have logged into Command, have gotten started, have looked at it, have done anything? Okay. How many of you have never even logged in? Okay, there are a few that were still at the not even logged in. Perfect. Okay, great. So we've got a variety of different things. Is anyone fully immersed in using it at a higher level, saying, hey, I'm trying to run my business on it right now?
Yeah.
Okay, couple people are. Okay. All right. Well, a little bit about me before we get started, just so you know where my background is. I've been in real estate doing investing, ownership of apartments, new construction. I am a licensed contractor. I build new homes as well as sell existing real estate, obviously. Down in the southern part of the Fox Valley. So I actually live south of Fond du Lac. So I'm down here, and hi, Brant. I we have a team. My brother and I run a team. We have commercial agents as well as residential agents. So we have the team functionality. So if anybody's on here and has team questions, we are using Command as a team. And Chris and I, as co-rainmakers, are using it pretty exclusively now, and we're trying to get all the rest of our agents on it. So I can answer to both sides of it if you have any questions. So, okay, so let's get started then. I'm going to share my screen and we'll get going here. Does anybody have any questions before we get rolling with anything?
Not yet.
All right, great. All right, let me get to my first screen here. Okay, so you're going to go to agent.kw.com if you've never logged in before, agent.kw.com, and that will take you to our Command platform. And we call it a Command platform because it truly is an end-to-end platform designed for the agent to be able to run their entire business. Everything from your contact management to your marketing to your sales pipeline to your transaction management to all your lead follow-up, your campaigns, everything can be found in this particular platform. And essentially what they're attempting to continue to build and expand upon is the fact that you're going to have all of these opportunities to not even leave the program. Everything that you're going to need to do will be right in the program. So as a quick overview, if you look at your screen, on your home screen here, you will see there are a couple of different things. We're just going to take a tour of the home screen for those that have not dived in. And plus, if you haven't dived in a while, there have been some changes. So we'll just take a quick tour and a little bit about each applet, and then we'll dive into the setup. So if you're highlighted up here at the top and it says Command, then you're in Command. If you click over to the Connect setting, that actually is something that they're under development on this year. There is some things that you can do in here already. And basically what it is it's going to be our own Facebook, so to speak, for our company. So you can join different groups, you can have conversations in those groups, you can have different, posts, there's a news feed, those types of things. If you click on it, you should be automatically enrolled in or joined as a member of the North Central. That North Central is our region. So that's going to be Wisconsin, Minnesota. That's our region of Keller Williams. You should be also automatically into the group for KW Green Bay. So you can see here, I'm part of Appleton, I'm part of North Central, but then I also have some technology groups that I'm a part of. And it just is, you can post questions here, people will respond. At some point, this will expand to include calendars and resources. Eventually, it will be a lot more information based. But for now, if you do have questions, that is one place that you can go to and post questions. As well as there's, of course, many different other Facebook groups as well. So if we go back to command, your home screen may look a little bit different than this. You can design this to be exactly the way that you want it to look and what's important to you. So in my home screen, I have my tasks for the day on the front page. I've got, or the first box here, I've got my leads that have come in, whether they be Facebook, whether they be my app, whether they be a website, all of your leads will come here. My goals that I have set, we'll talk about setting our goals in another session, but this is where your dashboard would be. And essentially what it's doing is tracking your goals. So I've had 206 leads come in for the year. My annual goal is 3,700, so I need to get going on that. And then of course, my under contracts and closed units are looking pretty good for this time of year, but need to up those as well. I need design updates that come in because I do like to use the designs applet, so I do have that on there. And then of course my database health and product updates. If you do want to change your home screen, you can go right here as part of your setup and hit customize home. This will allow you to pick the things you want to see or not see. I don't use the notepad, so I unchecked it. If I were to check it, it would come back on my screen. So you can uncheck the ones that you don't want to see. You can move these around. Everything is drag and drop in command. So you're going to drag and you can reorder those. So if you want something else up on top or something else in that area, you can do that. As we continue our exploration of the command database or command platform itself, if you click on the red KW, you will expand all of the little icons on the side. These are all what we call applets. So if we talk about we're going to be working in the referrals applet, or we're going to be looking at the opportunities applet, that would be these little divisions of the platform here, okay? The first one being contacts. That'll be our next session, as we will talk a lot about contacts. This is where your CRM is going to live. This is where all your contacts, all your people, all their information. Tasks. Pretty self-explanatory. You can create tasks for yourself as reminders in order to get different things towards opportunities done, or different things for individual contacts. If you have to call someone, you want to remind yourself to do it in 2 weeks, things like that, you can set those up. Smartplans we'll talk extensively about. That would be your automated marketing plans or follow-up plans. Referrals, self-explanatory. This is where all your referrals are going to now be tracked. Opportunities, sales pipeline, this is all your commissions, compliance, all of that is tracked in here. Campaigns will be everything from emails to paid Facebook ads, to social posts, to postcards. Reporting, this is where you can look at all your analytics, how many emails you've sent, how many have clicked, how many have opened, all those types of things are all in there. Designs, this is where we're going to create all of our marketing material. Your listings will live here under listings. This is going to be the new KWLS, and so all of that will be in there. Insights, if any of you have played with Kelle, the insights that we entered on there are found here. And lastly, being consumer, this is the site where everything that consumer facing. So you're going to design your website out of here. You're going to format and change your buyer's guides. You can change your app settings. All of anything that faces the consumer would be found under this applet. Any questions on the initial home screen? or applets? Okay.
Nope.
You might go ahead. Nobody? Okay, great. You might notice that mine looks a little bit different in the fact that I have a team right here. So if you are part of a team, you will see that your team selection is here. If you do not have a team, then that will just be continue to be black border. This little storefront right here is the marketplace. So if there are things that you're looking at wanting to combine into your command, things that you want to have command work together with, you can click on the marketplace. This is something also they're working on expanding. So other companies that would like to have an addition or have a relationship with all of us through our command can put things into the marketplace. And this would be where if you choose independently to stay with .loop, if you have a dialer or a particular company that you're using and they've already integrated with command, you would click on that and you can see those. My internet's being really slow today. And you can see those particular integrations and purchase them through there, which would then automatically go into your command. This one is very important. This is your notifications bell. So as you can see, if you click on it, it's going to give you the notifications that you've got, similar to, you know, your email having a little dot next to it saying there's a new email or any type of those things. All your notifications will be shown up on here. Anytime someone new registers on your site, anytime that you have a commissions or compliance notification, they will all be there under that bell there. Okay. Most important place that we're going to live today is here under your name. So you should have your name here. You may or may not have your picture yet, but you should have your name there. So we'll get started then, if nobody has any questions on the overview on how to get our settings and everything set up in command. So the first thing that we're going to do is click on our name and click on the settings here underneath our name. This is going to take us to our, basically all the settings of everything that we can change or pick our preferences. One of the greatest pieces of command that I love and that a lot of agents are finding really, really nice is that they're giving you a platform. They're giving you essentially a lot of tools, and you can shape those tools to fit your business. So not everything that we're going to talk about is going to be really set in stone. And some people find that frustrating. Other people find it really, really awesome, because you can look at it and say, this is the way my business runs, and the software will actually conform to your business. A lot of other CRMs, a lot of other software that you have to learn how to make the software. Your business has to conform to what the software will or won't do. And so now we have lots of conversations about what do I want? How do I want to get? What do I want that product to look like? How do I want that to function? And then I can show you how command can help you do that, versus this is how the software works. Now make your business fit it. So I'm hoping that will help you guys kind of understand that when I say things in a lot of these applets about how does your business work, let's sketch that out, let's look at it, and then we'll add command into it, versus here's command, and now you have to run your business this way. Okay, so a lot of the things that we're going to talk about in setting up all of these applications and connected apps has to do with that. You can choose to use them, you can choose not to. It's totally up to you and how your business runs. Okay, so we're going to start by connecting all of our apps. The first one that we will connect is DocuSign if you have not connected it yet. If you've not connected it, it will say connect account here. Click on that button. It will take you through and have you create a password and go into DocuSign and connect everything there. Please, the second step that DocuSign that requires is a second authentication. Oh, I can't ever say that word. You have to authorize it a second time. And so once you get done with DocuSign, then come back into command and there'll be a button here that says authorize. Mm-hmm. Okay, so set up your password and then come back in here and hit authorize. When you have it completed correctly, it will say this, okay? It'll have your email down here and it will say disconnect account. If it doesn't say that, you need to continue to either click that button or hit the authorize, go back into DocuSign. There's something wrong, but it should look like this when you're connected. As you move down the list, you want to connect the features that you want to do. So if you're going to post things on Facebook, you need to connect your Facebook. A question that I get a lot of times, you have to have this Facebook will connect to your personal page. A lot of people call me and say it won't connect to my business page. Your business page is a subset or a sub page underneath your personal page. So you have to connect to your personal page. Trust me when I say you're posting and things like that, you will have an opportunity to select a business page later. I actually have two business pages because I have my real estate business page and I have my construction business page. And so each time I post, I actually have to pick which page I want to post it to. So if you have multiple business pages, that's what will happen. You will have an option to pick. So you want to make sure that you connect your personal page to this account. I have my calendar connected. Another important one is to connect your Gmail. If you want your emails to track onto your clients' timelines, you need to make sure that your Gmail is connected. Twilio. There are a lot of services on here, again, as I said, are choice-based. Do you want to access it or don't you? Does it work for your company or doesn't it? So Twilio is one of those options. That is a texting service that allows you to send text messages out of command automatically. So you can use it to set up Smartplans. You can use it to set up automated type responses. It does set you up. It does cost money. It's not a free service, but it's incredibly affordable. Each text message, I believe, is 0.007 of a penny. So it's like 7/100ths of a penny. So it's very, very affordable. It does come from a separate telephone number. So you do have to get another local number. And, but if you have other questions on Twilio, we'll talk more about that when we do Smartplans. If you already have a Twilio account, you can set it up here. Otherwise, this is where you would come back to set it up later. And you can kind of just go through these options of things that, like I said, do you have a Twitter account? Things like that. Two things of note. If you hook up one Facebook, make sure you hook up the second Facebook. There are two separate Facebook ones to connect. One says Post Scheduler and one says Ads Manager. If you are going to use Command and Facebook to post things and post ads, you need to make sure both are connected. So go ahead and connect both of those. And the other caveat that I will say as you go through these, there's actually a couple. As you can see on my screen, there are three different what they call productivities. If you are, how many people in the group are huge eEdge users? Is there anybody that's like, I love eEdge and all of my stuff is in eEdge?
Yep.
Okay. So one thing that you can do is you can connect your eEdge here. And essentially that creates a sync between the two, that if you add things into eEdge as you're doing your transition, it'll go back and forth so you don't have any double entry. Make sure you test that. I have gotten my eEdge to go one way, but it doesn't necessarily go the other. So if something comes into eEdge, it comes into Command, great. But if I put it into Command, it doesn't always get back to eEdge. So you kind of have to pick which platform is your ultimate database, and then decide, does that connection make sense, or should I just use it as a place for storage, and then I'm going to transfer it all over. So you have to just kind of decide that. And when we get to contacts and we talk about your CRM, we can have a lot of conversation about what works best and what decision you make. The next one that I kind of really want to lay out there for everybody is this PieSync. PieSync is a service that allows you to, again, sync up different databases with the command. So it would possibly link up your Google contacts. It might, if you're using other CRMs like Follow Up Boss or LionDesk or some of the other bigger ones, I think Sync is on there. Any of those types of CRMs, we would be able to connect those and have all of your a vast majority of your information come over automatically. That has pros and cons. I know for example, LionDesk, it doesn't bring over your notes, but it brings everything else. So that might be a really great option for you. If your entire database lives in your phone and it's on Google Contacts, which it is for a lot of agents, that's perfectly fine. We can do that. Please remember, however, that again, this would be a conversation to have with either Clay or myself about how that PieSync works, because you can have, it can get kind of messy going back and forth if you have it set up to go both ways. So you might get, all your kids' friends, all of your, all sorts of extra people in your command database because they're in your phone. So we kind of have to have a conversation if that's the best option for you. But you can definitely take a look at that, especially if you've got some sort of database that is in another CRM. That's a great way to try to get it out of there. And then the last two that we're going to talk about are emails. So the first one that you have to do is set up this command email down at the bottom, okay? You're going to go ahead and hit that connected. You're going to enter in your reply to email address. This is going to be the service that's going to send out all of your one-off emails in command. So if you are sending a monthly neighborhood nurture, and again, if you don't know what that means, that's okay. We're going to cover that in a couple sessions. Anytime you're using a smart plan to send emails, anytime that you're doing it as an individual email to a client, it's going to go through command email as an automated email, okay? If you are looking to do mass emails to your entire database or different groups of people, that option right now is MailChimp. And so you can connect that if you have a MailChimp account. Again, that is a service that you have to pay for if you have more than one group of people you're sending people to, or sending emails to, sending newsletters to. So if you have, a group of investors and you have a group of buyers and you have a group of sellers and you're sending 3 different newsletters out each month, MailChimp is your only option to do that at this time. And you would need to go ahead and put their paid service together to do that. We'll talk more about our email options when we get to campaigns, but just know that those 2 things would have to be connected if you were going to do that. Now, I have my MailChimp account connected, but I only have 1 list of people, so my account is free. But we'll talk more about those, but those would be 2 more things that you have to connect. Any questions on the different services to be connected? Everybody's good? All right. So again, you can kind of go through those and connect them. They take about, a minute to 2 minutes a piece. No problem. All right. The next step then that you need to do to get your command up and running is to go on the left-hand side of the screen here to connect settings and click on your marketing profile. This is going to be incredibly important for everyone to have set up, because everything that we do in command, as far as designs, as far as our web pages, pretty much everything that we do in this particular platform will pull and autofill off of this marketing profile. So your bio, your photos, your logos, all of your information for your market center, things like that are going to be held here, stored here, and then pull out into the different applets when you need them. So you can, if you've never done it before, I would click on this marketing profile Kelle guide. So one of the things that the Kelle guide that the command designers have done for us is provide us these Kelle guides. Anytime you see a Kelle guide, it's basically going to be a step-by-step instructions on how to use whatever you're trying to do. So if you're going to be setting up, your marketing profile, there's a Kelle guide. If you're going to be setting up your website for the first time, there's a Kelle guide. If you're going to set up your buyer's guide, there's a Kelle's guide. There's all sorts of different things to help you through this. So we're going to go ahead right here and click on the marketing profile. And what that will do, again, as I said, is walk you through step by step of the starting to get your marketing profile set up. Okay. And then it basically is going to say, what are you going to get out of this guide? We're going to set up our marketing profile. We're going to talk about Smartplans. And then we're going to confirm. So we would hit get started. Now I've obviously done mine already, so you can see that I have information in here. If you haven't done it before, all of this will be blank. It'll basically just be a blank KW branded, but not branded to you, okay? So we're gonna go through on the right-hand side here, and you're gonna click on the first little green arrow, and then it's going to ask you to upload logos. If you have a team logo or not even a team logo, but if you just have a logo for yourself, you can put that up in there. And then you can fill in all of the different information that it's asking for under each blank. Anything that has a little red star obviously is required. Obviously a team name is not required. Everything else is required, so you would go ahead and select that. As every time you hit the word next, it will take you to the next section. So the next section that it's talking about is my bio. So you're going to upload whatever headshot you want to use. You're going to upload the Market Center logo that you need to use. I will make a caveat at this. Now, the KW Fox Cities logo, KW Green Bay logo, a lot of the KW logos are rectangular. Command is looking for something that's square. So as you can see, if you hit the upload here, and I'm gonna go find one of the Keller Williams here, we'll do this one. You can see that it's asking you to upload it in a square format, okay? It's not giving you the rectangular option. So you do need to have the square one, and Laura or myself or Lori should be able to email those. If you're in Green Bay, reach out to Laura Thompson. If you're in Appleton or any of the business centers out of KW Fox Cities, you can ask Lori or myself, and we will email it to you. Because it does have to be a 360 by 360 square and not the rectangular one. If you get the rectangular one in there, you'll be able to only select half of the logo, and it'll look like you've selected half the logo. So if you don't have any of those, just go ahead and reach out and we can send it to you to put in there. It will ask you for a square headshot. Most headshots are already either square or oblong rectangular, not long and let me go back to the screen here. As you can see from here, most headshots are not this shape. A lot of our KW logos are this rectangular shape. So headshots are typically either, taller, more square. So you can do that. You will see that a lot of times they will put it here in this circle. So if you can make it fit in there, then you can go, it won't, the shape doesn't matter, I guess, is better. Off the chat. That was a question in the chat. Okay, it won't let you hit next because you need a website. What do you put in the website? For right now, you can put pretty much anything that I would just say Janet or JT www.kw.com. Right now it's a placeholder. It's not going to verify that it actually works, but please make yourself a note that you're going to have to go back and change it when we set your website. I think that would be probably Monday or Wednesday of next week. We'll actually be formatting everybody's websites. If you haven't done one already, then you can claim it. If you have a custom domain that you've paid for, you can put that in there, or put your existing website in there. It just has to be a website address. And then it will let you go forward. It's not gonna, like I said, it's not gonna verify if it works. So you don't have to worry about, is it the right one? But just make a note to yourself, then you're gonna have to go back in and change it to make sure that it's right, because it will pull that information for all your marketing. Okay. I am going to move that off of there. All right, so then as we keep going through here, you're gonna put your agent license number in, just fill in all of this information. And then you are going to enter in your bio. As you can see, it lets you have a really nice fleshed out bio. There's quite a few characters in it. And so you can just go ahead and type that in there. If you have one that you've typed up previously or used, you know, on another site or anything like that, it's a copy and paste situation. Sorry, somebody is messaging me to try to get into the training here. Okay, and then if you have any credentials or any classes that you've taken, you can add those there. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Here is all of your different social media links. So if you're on Twitter, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Instagram, those are the things there that you can just add in your URLs. And that, again, will give you links as you start making marketing and different things. This one is one that I'd like you to take a note of, write it down somewhere, copy and paste it onto something else. This is your app link. So if none of you, I guess I should ask that question. How many of you have explored your new app and played with it at all, about the new Keller Williams app? Anybody? Anybody have any fun with it? So this code that you see here, this big, long, capitalized code, makes no sense whatsoever. Yours will be very different if you look at it, is your personalized branded code that if you give that out to someone and they click on it, it will take them to your app or download your app. So this is something that we want to be sharing out to people, and something you'll have to make a note of so that they can get your app, versus just go to the app store, then they could pick any agent, for example. But you want to make sure that they're definitely branded to you and linked to you. And so, and we'll talk a lot more about the app and the things you can do with it on another site, but I want to make sure, since we're here, that you make a note of that, because that is your code that you can start marketing. Legal footer. So in the state of Wisconsin, the only thing that we need to put in there is each office independently owned and operated. Okay, any questions on getting that set up that far? Everybody's catching up and following along?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right, we'll get this last person in here who can't find the Zoom link. There we go. All right. As I said, this would be one of the places that you might make a note and say, I've got to come back because I've got to flesh out my bio. I've got to finish that out. So this would be a place where you might want to come back and work on it a little bit longer later, but you can get a lot of it in there pretty quickly, okay? We want to make sure that we're configuring our email. So if this is not correct and it says configure email and it's not the email that you want them to use, or the name that you want, you can hit edit there and change that up. Michigan has very different rules than Wisconsin. Okay, great. Yes, I did not realize we would have a couple Upper Peninsula agents on the call. So you need to make sure that your compliance and your different rules are are on there. As far as Wisconsin is concerned, we only have to have that as a legal footer. You would have to disclose or do different things. I know it's very important that you get that correct KW logo on everything in this marketing profile, because that's what will be available to you when we start making designs and marketing. So make sure that you're following your different compliance rules, and make sure if you have any questions to talk to your broker. I just am doing it based on Wisconsin because that's what I know. If something is unique to Michigan, that is what the beauty of Command is that you can change it up. They have designed it to work across the nation. So, all right. And if you don't have we'll go back to the setup here. If you don't have a Twilio account, or you haven't set it up yet, or you don't even know what it is enough to set it up, you can skip over those things if they're not applying to you. We're going to hit continue.
Can I back up once and
Absolutely.
go to configure? No, what was it? I'm in the wrong page. No. When you wanted to do you said copy and paste that app link. Where do I get that?
Did it not automatically populate with your app link?
It just says my name. It just has my name in there. But,
okay.
So I don't think that's right.
Nope, that is not right. So there's a couple of different places that you can find your app code. One of them is, had you downloaded the app? I think you had said that you had kind of played with it a little bit.
I have.
Okay.
A lot of stuff in here, but I don't have that.
Okay. So if you pull up your app on your phone, I'm just going to pull it up here.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
And then you click on more at the bottom, and then share. I will try to, oops, it's not going to show
my KW app you're talking, right?
Yeah, the consumer, the white one, the consumer app.
Oh yeah, okay, got it.
Yep, and then click on more. If you click on more, and then it'll say share my app, or share the app.
Okay, share my app.
Yep, at the very top, you'll see that there is a link right there, and you can just copy and put that in there. You probably have to type it out. Make sure that your code is capitalized.
Okay.
So it has to be exactly the way that it's on there.
Okay, I'll figure that out later. Thank you. Now, go on. I get lost.
Okay, great. That's okay, no problem. Then, and stop me midstream if you do, because I'd rather have you stop me and ask, so where it's quick to go back than 20 steps down the road. Okay. So, all right. We are going to, so everybody should be at this point then, if you're following along and working on your computer, we're going to skip over this point because this is going to be a whole nother class. They have expanded this Smartplans to a point where it's going to be a whole class on its own because it's that important. So we're just going to kind of skip over that. We're not going to enable any Smartplans at this point. All right. And we have a question in the chat that says, what is your login for the app? The app is a consumer-facing product, which means you do not have a preset in login as an agent. You do not have anything preset. It does not use your KW logins that we use on the agent side of things. So what they've done is they've made a clear delineation between what's on the agent side and what's on the consumer side. And on the agent side, we've got our KW logins. We can get into Command, we get into Kelle, we get into KW Connect. All of that is on the agent side. The app itself, the white KW, it's a white logo with a red KW in it. That is consumer facing. So if you're going to download that app and log into it, you have to create yourself your own consumer account. So I would suggest using either a private email, or you can use your KW email. I'm actually in there twice because I use myself as a test, but that's what you should be doing with it. Log in, create an account, log in with a different email address or your KW email address if that's the only one you use, and go in it and experience it as a consumer. That way you can speak to the consumer about this is what it does because you've done it. What's nice about the app is once you do that, you will notice in your command that you all of a sudden are entered into your command as a contact. And you can play with it and see how those two things interact, so you'll know how to expect to explain that to a buyer or seller when you get that far. Okay, does that make sense? You're going to create that as you were a consumer. It does not automatically treat you like an agent and give you a login. Okay. All right, so now you have, if you hit the continue button here, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna skip over that smart plan section. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then you have completed your marketing profile. Okay. Any questions on the marketing profile itself, or doing the connections, the marketing profile setup, any of those things that we just covered?
Good.
Okay. I see a couple people are popping into the chat here. Jennifer, what is crashing on you a lot? The app is crashing on you? Okay, so the app is crashing on you. I've not been having the app crash on you. Are you using an iPhone or Android? Android. Okay. I know the Android platform is a little bit behind the iPhone. I don't want to say behind, like it's not getting the same treatment, but it definitely uninstall and reinstall, and make sure that you're on the latest update. They are fixing things in the app in record speed. In fact, if it hasn't come out, the new update came out last week, I believe it was, that drastically changed the app. So if you don't have the latest version, it can cause issues. This is also where I'm going to talk about command, okay?
Okay.
They are changing command at a record speed. They are literally changing things, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of things in the course of a couple months. Little tiny things that you're never ever going to see, and giant things that have changed. If I could go back and show you guys screenshots of the way that the home screen looked, or the way that contacts looked a year ago, you wouldn't even think it was the same program. And so a lot of times things can get a little bit frustrating with things not working or things kind of getting glitchy. Two things I would like to say. First of all, always be using Chrome. Command was built to be working in Chrome the best. So download and use Google Chrome as your browser when you're in command. The second thing is to, if you're having any issues at all with command, or something doesn't seem like it's right, always use an incognito window. So if you notice what I did there, I went over here to my three little dots when I'm in Chrome next to my picture, or my daughter's picture actually, and click on that. And then you're going to click this incognito window. Basically, the best way to explain that is that every time you're on your computer, you know that it's saving your browsing history, it's knowing what you're looking at, and speed is of the essence. So the load times for websites, essentially, if it doesn't load in 3 seconds, we're usually going to find something else. We're clicking out of it, we're getting out of it. People want stuff instantaneously. So in order to make your experience better, and your computer actually saves the last version of the website that you were on. So where the issue comes in, and for most websites that's fine, because Home Depot is not going to change its overall platform, very rapidly, or other major websites, they don't change their entire platform regularly or as quickly as command is doing it. So their data may change, and that's what's going to load up and be okay, but the base website stays the same. Command makes too many changes for that. So what happens is that your computer has stored an old version, and now you're trying to get it to do something that they've either fixed fixed a bug or added a new feature, and it's conflicting with those two versions. If you work in command in what they call an incognito window, basically it's telling your computer, don't save anything, don't save anything, don't save that last version, and give me a fresh version every single time I go to this page. So if at any point things get glitchy or something's not working, first step is going to be to use Chrome. Second step is going to be make sure you're in an incognito window and try it again. And then go from there. Okay. Any questions on that? Same thing with the app. We want to make sure we've got the most up-to-date features and things by making sure we have the latest update. And like I said, I believe it was last Tuesday that they did the giant update. Command updates pretty much on Tuesdays. If they're going to do a giant update that's going to take it offline, they will do that at night. I think they just did one to contacts and opportunities and took it offline for about 6 hours. But mostly they're fixing them while we're working in it, which also can create some frustration. So please understand that the command engineers are doing everything they can to make this seamless for you. But once in a while, things get a little weird, and know that we're all here to help you get through that. So if you have anything that glitches out or something that doesn't work, definitely reach out to Clay or myself, and we will help you get that solution taken care of. If anytime you have any questions about running in command, you've always got your little question mark right here. And if you click on the question mark, it gives you a couple of different options. One being Keller Williams University. So they have revamped all of their training information. This is a great spot to go and get videos and get articles about a particular thing you're trying to do. A lot of podcasts and different things are here, so you can go ahead and click on that. If you do have to chat with support, you can chat for it here. If you have an idea that command doesn't do, or you'd like it to see it do, or something different that you want it to do, you can post an idea or search for and vote up other ideas here at ideas.kw.com. So basically what it is, it's just like anything else, you know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? So if there's an idea on this ideas.kw.com that gets a couple thousand votes or 5,000 votes of, hey, agents really want this, that's the next thing that they're going to implement. So if there's something you really like, go on there, search and see if it's already on there, vote it up, or propose it and let other agents vote for it, and then they will start implementing it. A ton of the stuff that you see in command right now, I'd say probably at least 50% of it is from agents saying, we want it to do this, we want it to do that. You know, there's a lot of base, you know, straight up engineering in it, but there's a lot of functionality that we're able to pick. This is how we want it to look. This is how we want it to function. So we have both of those options there. Where else can we go for information? Obviously, I'm recording these. I will put them out there. There are lots of other places that you can go and get different takes on how to set things up. One of them is being YouTube, and I will pull this one up because I really like this particular challenge, and he does a really, really good job of breaking it down. So his name is Marty Miller. He's another tech trainer like myself, and he has actually put together what he calls the 66-day challenge. I think he's actually up to, 80 days, but he didn't change it. So 66-day challenge of command. And essentially, I don't want it to play, so I'm going to pause it here. There are 66 little videos. Most of them, oh, sorry. I don't want it to play. There are 66 different days, starting from what we just did, all the way to the most complex of, you know, Smartplans and Facebook ads and everything under the sun going forward. So you can always go in here and to go to YouTube and just search what you're trying to find. There are 3 or 4 really, really good trainers that are putting a lot of videos out. And so this would be a place that you could go and just get a 2 or 3 minute little snippet. if you're going to go and do the Marty Miller challenge, please make sure you're doing the 3.0. He actually put out a 1.0 and a 2.0. Those were as command was growing and changing. So if you go back to the original 66-day challenge and start that, it's not going to look anything like your command because, again, they've changed things so drastically. So make sure you're on the 3.0. A couple other trainers out there, if you stumble upon Lori Ballin, she's out of Las Vegas, or Jay Cermax out of Florida. All three of those do great jobs, very, very broken down, nice screenshots that you can start and stop and learn from them. So you've got lots of different places to go find more information on those. And then of course, we also have the rest of our boot camps coming forward. Okay. Any questions on anything? Okay. All right. So then the last thing that I have for today, this was kind of just our setup for command, our overview, and then our setting up of all of our settings and marketing profile. Well, let's see. I got a question in chat here. Would you circle back to customizing your home screen and where to do that? Absolutely. So I'm on my home screen here. You're going to customize your home screen right here on this blue button. One of the things that the command engineers have done is essentially anything that is an action item or something that creates or adds something new is always in this, what they call Kelle blue. So you can see here, you would create a new task in that Kelle blue, or here's customize home screen. So you're going to click on the customize home screen, and then it will allow you to choose or take away the things that you want to see or you don't want to see on your screen. That would be your first step. So if you're not somebody who really cares what's coming or going and you don't need the product updates, you can uncheck that. But I do want my notepad on there so I can take notes to myself. I can check that on there. And if I hit apply, you will see that it changes on your screen. The other thing that I can do here is I can put them in different orders. So I can have the things that are most important to me closer to the top. So if I've decided, you know what, my goal is really, really important to me to change up my, to get my database health score up higher. We'll talk about that in our context class, which is next time. I would put that there at the top and you will see that it comes to the top of the screen. So you can make that look exactly how you want it to look. To me, what I have to do during the day and my leads are most important to me. So those are the things I have at the top, and then I can scroll down to that point. Okay. Okay. So then I'm going to wrap up with, if there are no other questions, I'm going to wrap up with kind of what your homework, so to speak, would be between now and then. So our next class, we're actually going to go back down to 8:30 in the morning, try to get it done right away in the morning so that everybody can get to their lead gen and all of the other things they have going on during the day. So 8:30 on Wednesday morning will be our next class. Between now and then, the biggest thing that would be important to do, number one, is finish off the things that we went through today. Make sure everything is connected and make sure all your marketing profile is completely fleshed out. Those things will help you as we keep moving forward through the applets to make sure that those are done, and that way they'll all function the way that it needs to. If you have pieces that are missing and you're having trouble getting them done, please reach out to Clay or myself and we'll help you get those in there before then. The second thing that I really want you to start thinking about is, so the next class we're going to talk about is contacts and getting our database started. So think about, what am I currently using? Am I using another CRM? Do I have all my contacts in my phone? The only place that I have any contacts is, say, in Dotloop or in some of those other places. Where are your contacts currently being housed, stored, managed? Because those are some questions that you're going to have the answers to. And again, everybody's different. So when we start talking about contacts and how to get those contacts into command and start using it. Okay. My experience has been with working with Appleton and the other business centers down here is that most of us don't have a database. Most of us are kind of, we've got maybe pieces of paper here or there. We've got things in our phone. We've got things in Dotloop. We've kind of got things everywhere. This goal would be then to put it all into one place so we can start utilizing it. Other people have great databases that they're using, say, like I said, in Follow Up Boss, Top Producer, Lion Desk, things like that. So just kind of think about where those things may be, and so that we can start talking about the best solutions to get them into command to help you out. Okay. A couple more questions that have come through on the chat. Where do I access my KW app? So you would go to your app store and download KW Realty's app. Like I said, it's a white icon with a red KW in the middle of it. And that would be the consumer app. And then you would create an account and log in with that new account. And then you can play with it there. Are we able to view these recordings somewhere outside of the scheduled viewing times? Yes, I will be uploading them as trainings. I'm recording each one of the Zooms, so we will get those out. All right, how do you get to the design library templates? So we're going to talk about designs in the future going forward, but the designs, I think designs is step 4. The designs applet is right here. And Connie, you can call me later if you want to walk through it a little bit more detailed, but it is this one that looks like a drawing pad. Lisa asks, how do I get the square logo for Green Bay to use? I would contact Laura Thompson. She probably has it on a Google Drive. It may be in the stuff that you were given when you were onboarded, but they did have to be reformatted. So, and I can ask Laura to maybe put it out to everyone, but that's where it would be. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. You were great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope to see everybody back again, and anybody else who needs any help now. I'm hoping that the classes will grow actually because a bunch of people were at this step. So next time we'll talk about contacts. All right. Have a great day.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. How do I get out of here?